Ryu Hayabusa! You did well to get this far. Where is Clancy? You're Clancy! And he's looking at us. Correct! Look at this body full of super life power! Listen carefully, Ryu. I want to protect the Earth from humans! Humans are weak and disgusting little creatures who love to fight. You know they should be wiped out, don't you? Ryu, join me! I'll even let you bring a perfect human to ride! Okay, maybe not the best place to put ride. Once the Earth is cleansed of humans, we can start a new world! No reason can ever excuse the destruction and slaughter of mankind. The only thing that's going to get destroyed is you and this dimensional warship. Whew! That was quite a scene. You ready for this, Skyzo?
Yeah. And it looks like you cheesed them.
Okay, in all seriousness though, this fight is kind of a serious problem if you don't have the Invincible Firewheel. It's infuriating because it should be an easy fight, but he's got this one attack, and you're gonna see what it is. Well, that homing fireballs thing, you can see that it scrolls off the screen if he's on the opposite side, so that's super easy. But once I hit him, he's got this lightning attack that he does. And for the most part, you can just hold the direction and you will generally dodge it. You can see that, right?
Right, yeah, I can see it.
Looks easy enough, right?
Yeah, so what's the problem?
Well, there shouldn't be a problem, but there is. You're gonna see it right about... Not right now. Okay, here it is, here it is. Check this out. 2... 3. How did that hit me?
Well, I don't know, but you lost like half your health, it looked like.
3 points, but I walked into this fight damaged, so that's still significant.
Oh, right.
So, let's see that again, shall we? And I am gonna do nothing but hold a direction. How did that get me?
I don't know, it seems like they have some funky programming going on.
Yeah! Do you know how infuriating that is?
Yeah?
Like, I can deal with Ninja Gaiden's 1 BS. I can deal with the Chikio. I can deal with the color palette issues. I can deal with limited continues. What I cannot deal with is when I do the exact same thing and get different results each time. How does that happen?
Well, all things considered, you can still cheese them.
Yeah, if I have an Invincible Firewheel and I don't die anytime past 7-1.
Right, so you require the Firewheel in order for you to cheese them. Okay, I got it.
Exactly. Otherwise, I kind of have to just say screw trying to play it strategically. I just have to bum rush him like this. Check this out. Get up, mash, press left, so I get bounced back, and then just keep mashing the attack button until he dies. I get hit twice and take 6 damage, but it kills him before he can do anything else.
It's merciful that the lightning doesn't actually do too much damage, because if it did, then...
So that's your real form! I might have known! Prepare to... Oh, okay, it's ended.
So this is the final boss.
Yep.
don't know, that doesn't seem very intimidating.
Okay, so without the invincibility, it's a very simple pattern. He gathers it in one hand, throws a homing attack, gathers in the other hand, throws the homing attack, and basically you just have to be on the other side of whatever the homing attack is. Don't be on the same side, otherwise it will catch you like that, but aside from that, it's a pretty easy fight. Nothing much to say.
Is this his final form?
No, that's coming up next. Finally! Hey! What's this?
That's epilepsy.
Ryu! Another great scene. They're really going all out for this one. So, kind of like the last boss in Ninja Gaiden 2, you're mostly safe if you stick on the left side of the screen, but you're not completely safe. Also, like the final boss last game, he kind of has a fixed pattern to his attacks, and if you let the fight drag on long enough, he will eventually start being able to tag you, even from all the way back there. So the idea is to KO him before he gets a chance to do that. The easiest way to do that, as usual, is like this. And then you hit the orb there. There you go.
Right, so this was the Doom ship?
Yep.
Huh. I guess he fused with it?
Yep. Looks like it. But yeah, if you don't have the Invincible Firewheel, the easiest way is to walk into this form with a full clip of regular Firewheels, and wait for him to sort of go low along the ground so you can tag him 5 times without you having to jump. Makes it easier to jump over those things. And then you want to get below his head. And the mnemonic you want to use is you're trying to get into his head. That will allow you to get in between the lasers. And since you're in the air, your margin for error is a lot wider than if you just stayed on the ground. See? It's a little tricky, but it's consistent.
And how much damage do the lasers do to you?
3. Everything the boss does is 3.
That's really not too bad.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really only the first form that's a problem, and that's just due to poor programming. I think it's the best designed final boss, though, apart from that.
Yeah, I do like the direction on the, the art.
As do I. I mean, apart from the flashing.
Yeah, the flashing and some of the cutscenes are not stellar, but in general this series is very impressive.
It is.
And there we go, more flashing. They couldn't think of any other, way to express an explosion like that.
Well, fortunately it's the last epilepsy you have to worry about, so we're in the clear from here. And just like all the other ninja games, we are on top of a cliff with our girlfriend Irene.
I wonder if there's a post-game for this.
This is the end of Clancy and Foster and their sinister plan. I'll never understand why people make and pursue evil plans until they wind up dead. Humans are always striving to achieve. All of creatures living on Earth, in all worlds, can never just be a part of someone's plans. Fortunately, mankind is never foolish enough to wipe itself out to achieve some ambition.
Well,
Being with you again like this makes me want to thank all the living beings in this world. That's my one desire. A new day is about to begin. And there we go. Some amazing prose from the translation team that brought us the Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yeah, I don't know about that dialogue. It didn't make sense.
Oh well. Anyways,
couldn't
you
make
ready to
sense
talk
of it.
about this game?
Yeah.
So, your opinion first, since I talked a lot. What was your opinion on this game compared to the others?
Well, it's hard to say. I think that in general this series is impressive. I think it's, it's a great series, but I think that in general this game, I don't want to say it's the worst one, but I would say that the second one is a little more impressive. It's a little more polished, and I felt that this one didn't hold up as well, but that's just me.
You know, as far as just the gameplay, I think it's the best of the series. It's the most like how it should have been from the start. I mean, we don't have those cheap respawning enemies that the first game was full of. You don't start all the way at the beginning of the act if you lose to a final boss just once, like the first game did. You don't have the constant stage hazards or the color palette problems of the second. Oh, wait, another epilepsy. Sorry. Anyways, you can see the power-ups that you get before you collect them. And, of course, you have the Dragon Spirit Sword, which is just an awesome upgrade to have. So that's, as far as just the gameplay goes, I like it the best. Sure, you have limited continues, but that's something you can solve with just like a cheat code to give yourself infinite continues. And even without that, you have effectively 15 lives to get to Act 6, so just playing it, I enjoy doing. The presentation, on the other hand, took a bit of a hit. I mean, the art direction gets downright funky at times. We can agree with that, right?
I will say that, that's only the cutscenes. I didn't have a problem with that. With the actual stages, I think they're fine, but for some reason the cutscenes, they just, I don't know what happened. Some of the things that we saw are just so silly. I felt that they didn't belong in this game, but, all things considered, I think that, for the most part, this is a solid entry. Although I still hold the second game in the series above this one, because I felt that it was more polished. Though I could see why you would enjoy this one over the others.
Yeah, and going over the story, it starts off really good, right? It has this theme of imposters, has more twists and turns than the second one did, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
So it starts off good enough. Then, somewhere along the time that Butthead Foster showed up, it's kind of like they stopped trying with the story, really. I mean, the cutscenes that we had during the final boss, you could fit the dialogue on a post-it note. They barely say anything at all.
Well, you may disagree with me, but I think that if they had kept the story to a minimum, kind of like in the first game, I feel that the gameplay would just be better off. It's just one of those series where to me, the story doesn't add much. You don't see any of the characters or anything like that. This is not an RPG, so I feel that for the time, they would be better off with the gameplay and improving on that, but,
I don't know, I kind of liked seeing the story. I mean, the dialogue was never great, but it was usually serviceable, and just the fact that they had a movie-like experience at all for a Nintendo game was pretty impressive for the time.
I will say that a lot of the things that we see in these games are you just don't see things like that in NES games often enough. With the cutscenes, I'm sure that was revolutionary at the time. That was impressive, and effects in the stage, scrolling parallax backgrounds and or whatever. It's very impressive. It's a very impressive game that is very ambitious as well. Is a way that I like to put it.
Yeah. And, you know, like, speaking of the story, I know you generally want to keep the story to a minimum, but, like, how about this? We have bionoids, right? They can take on anyone's appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, silly name aside, I mean. Like, for Acts 6 and 7, I felt like there was more they could have done with that. Like, imagine you beat the Stage 6 Act boss, and then you get to Clancy, and all of a sudden, Irene is alive, but she's on Clancy's side, and she starts attacking Ryu. Ryu can't fight back against her. What are they to do? And that's when the real Irene would show up. Maybe make some snide remark about how, are you really gonna let me shoot you again? Kind of like a callback to the first game, and then get rid of Ryu's confusion there. And then when he confronted Clancy again in Act 7, he could kind of make a show of like, oh, hey, look, your dead father's alive, and Jungle Rat Bob is alive, and Walter Smith is alive, and all these guys that died in the first two games. I know you know they're not real, but they sound like them, they look like them, they have all their memories. You could have everything you want if you just let me conquer the earth. And then that's when Ryu would be all like, yeah, well, you, I would still have to let you kill everyone, so I can't justify that. You're still going down. It just felt like there could have been a little more meat to the end scenes. Kind of like what the first game had with the twist with his father being alive, you know what I mean?
Right, I agree with that.
But, like you said, it's still a great series, and even the worst of them is like saying your least favorite flavor of ice cream. It's still ice cream.
Those are pretty much my thoughts right there.
So then, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Probably I'll take a semi-hiatus for like 1 or 2 weeks, 10 days, something, work on some various side projects that I do outside of YouTube. And for my next LP, I'm thinking I'll probably either do something like Dragon Quest IV or Mega Man Battle Network, possibly even a Castlevania game. I'm still not decided, and if you have something you want me to play, feel free to let me do so. I won't guarantee that I'll play it, but I will keep it in mind. Anyways, have a nice day, everyone, and God bless you.
Right, I'll see you later, YouTube.
And give a big hand to Skyzo. He's part of the reason why these are so much fun for me.
Thank you.
Bye.